Yo, what's up, you fight fans? It's me, Jason Filthy Jones, coming back at you with another fight talk. And yes, guys, I know I missed out last week. I didn't put a video out. I didn't break down the Michelle Waterson versus Marina Rodriguez fight, and I didn't recap Yuri. I am sorry, guys. Life caught up with me. Had to get stuff done. Wasn't going to be able to really put out the video, so sorry about that. But we're not going to dwell on that. We're going to move on. We're going to get into UFC 262. We're also going to talk about some things that went down over the last couple of weeks. And first off, starting off with Yuri. If you guys didn't catch that fight, pretty stellar fight. Yuri and Dominic Reyes put on a pretty decent fight. Dominic Reyes came up short. Did like how Yuri ended the fight with that spinning back elbow, and showing that he's a title contention kind of fighter. Now, I do like that Yuri's going to be hoisted up to be basically the next one to get a title shot, but I am scared about him getting a title shot because of there's a lot of things that I still see with him that he has a couple of holes, but he does put on really decent fights. I think he gets hit a lot. I do see that he has an advantage against Jan, but that's if Jan gets by Glover Teixeira. Now, how does Yuri match up with Glover? I think Glover can give him a little bit of trouble, but we also are talking about an older Glover. He's not as fast or quick as Yuri, so we're just going to have to see how that plays out. Now, the other person I want to talk about that was on that fight would have to be Giga. I think Giga's looking phenomenal. Pretty much caught Cub, sucks for Cub. But once again, getting caught with a liver kick, it's really hard to defend. It's also very hard to come back from getting a liver shot. But hopefully Giga is going to get up in there and see who he fights next. I don't know if they'll give him Holloway. I know Holloway is pretty much sitting for the next title shot. But we're going to have to see how it goes. Wouldn't mind seeing him go up against Calvin Kattar. I think that would be a really good matchup, but could be a little fucked up matchup for Calvin Kattar too, actually, with coming off of that loss to Max Holloway. Besides all that, guys, let's get to the most recent fight, which has to be the Michelle Waterson versus Marina Rodriguez. If you're American, who knows? I hear it either or, guys. I don't know. Anyways, but fight was a really stellar fight. Sucks for Michelle. I was really pouring my heart hoping that Michelle would be able to get past her. I think Michelle looked phenomenal. No dirt on her back for taking on the fight. And Marina just shows that she's a very good stand-up fighter, ready to bring it. Hits very hard. Looks like she's going to be phenomenal in the strawweight division. Who does they give her next? There's a lot of people saying that maybe she should fight Joanna and Jacek. We're going to have to see. Not sure. Hopefully that matchup can be made. If not, we'll have to see who they toss at her next. I think she's going to be a stellar challenger for that belt, though, especially going up against Rose if she's going to make it up there. Now, and I know I'm rushing through a lot of this, guys, but the other reason is because there was a fighter on that card that I really want to talk about, which would have to be Cowboy Cerrone. Donald Cowboy Cerrone was on that card against Alex Moreno. And I hear a lot of people talking about how they want Cowboy to hang it up, that Cowboy's pretty much done, blah, blah, blah. And just to let you guys know, when I was choosing that fight, I was going for Cowboy anyways. I'm a homer for Cowboy, so if you guys are ever looking for me for advice on any kind of fighter, if it comes to Cowboy Cerrone, don't care who he's fighting. I'm pretty much going to always pick him. I'm complete homer for him, love him. He's one of my favorite fighters. Now, when I look at that fight, there's a lot of things that were in that fight that pointed out to that Cowboy was really like battling back and forth in his head if he should even do the fight. And the reason of that was because Cowboy kind of felt subjected to have to do the fight because he's always one of those stand-up guys that always fights, and he always is the guy that's on call if somebody drops out of a fight that he tries to fill in. Now, when I was watching the videos on Cowboy's interviews, you could kind of tell he wasn't really interested in the fight. It really did nothing for him at 170. It did nothing for him at 155. He wants to go back down to 155, give it one more kind of shot. But the only reason that he was back up at 170 was to fight Diego Sanchez. And trust me, guys, we're going to talk about that. But we'll get to that later. Right now, I don't think Cowboy should hang it up. I think he should get his one more fight. He doesn't want to go out like that. I think he wants to go out on a win. So we'll see how it ends up for him. Hopefully he gets down 155 and he'll be matched up with somebody decent, and we'll see what happens. If he gets a win, maybe continue on, try to get one more title shot run in. But Not really sure. Cowboy is 38. He's getting older. He's not as fast as he used to be, and his reactions aren't as good as they used to be. But he is still a dangerous fighter, and I will never count him out against anybody. So with that, hopefully we get to see Cowboy get down to 155 one more time and see how that goes. Throughout the week, guys, we had a couple other fights that went down. We also had Bellator that went down, and we had Anthony Rumble Johnson making his appearance back into the cage in Bellator 258. And he came away with the knockout win. Wasn't the easiest win for him to get either. Showed a little bit of rush, showed that his timing was a little bit off, but he did get the win and close it out. Now, the other person I want to talk about that was on that fight card would have to be Michael Venom Page, man. Dude, he is looking phenomenal. And I don't really get why everybody's so turned off by him, because so many people are still saying, like, oh, he's just fighting cans. Dude, Derek Anders is not a can. He is not a joke. He is a tough, gritty, badass. Did not even want to stop the fight, even with his broken nose. And also, he got a broken hand in the fight. So I don't see why everybody's trying to degrade Michael Venom Page. Yes, he got knocked out by Diego Lima, but the other thing is, Diego hits really fucking hard, and he's very strong, and that's why he's the welterweight champion. Do I feel like Michael Venom Page should get another title shot? Yeah, I actually do. I think it might be a little bit of a difference in this fight next time. We have to see. Maybe he'll calm down on the kind of showboating and taunting. And also, guys, understand, when Michael Venom Page fights and he does that, that's pretty much his fighting style. He likes to get in people's head. He likes to catch them off guard, come from all different angles. And I get it. The showboating is kind of like annoying and fucking obnoxious, but it is what it is. That's just the way the guy fights. I actually think he's a phenomenal fighter. He's a very hard fighter to deal with. Can't wait to see where they go from here with Bellator with them. And hopefully he'll be getting that title shot. And getting back and talking about Anthony Johnson, don't count him out either. I think he's going to get a little bit better, but we're going to have to see, because he's going up against a tall fucking task for him, and that's going to be Nemkov. And Nemkov is the light heavyweight champion of Bellator right now, and he is no joke, but I think Anthony can touch him once and put his ass out. So we're just going to see how Bellator shapes up. That's pretty much all I got for those. Just wanted to touch over those with the rough basis of what's going on with that. All right, guys, and with that, we got to get into this UFC 262 card, guys. And I feel like this card is going under the radar a little bit, even with the lightweight title up for grabs at the top of the card with Michael Chandler versus Charles Oliveira. Now, guys, before we jump into that main card, I have to tell you guys, there's a lot of good fighters on here. We got Tucker Lenz. He's going to be on this card. We also have Jacare Souza. He's back. Anatina Shimiko, which is Valentina Shimiko's sister. She's on this card. There are a lot of phenomenal fighters that are just under the radar, which I would say would be the future of the UFC, who are going to become really big stars. They're going to be on this card, so don't miss out. And of course, co-main event, Tony Ferguson versus Beneil Dariush. Phenomenal fight, guys. So with that, let's get into these breakdowns and let's start breaking down. Of course, I want to talk about that first fight. We're pretty much dead on at these two guys that are having a crazy career right now. Beneil Dariush has always floated around in the top 10, and he's been a phenomenal fighter. He gets into a lot of wars, has some really, really, really good jiu-jitsu, and is tough and gritty, and will pull a win out of nowhere all the time. He's always caught off guard. He seems to remind me a little bit of, like, not fighting style, but like styles of fights like Eddie Alvarez, Frankie Edgar. Pretty much has to get hit to really start lighting a fire under his ass and start bringing the pain. I don't know how he's going to do against Tony Ferguson, because I can never count out Tony. Tony is a tough, gritty fighter. Always likes to bring it. He's on a 2-fight skid right now, which is fucking crazy to think about. But I mean, who has he lost to, man? I mean, he's lost to the top of the fucking division. So I can't count him out. He has his back against the wall. It seems like he's concentrating on getting his boxing right, to get his striking better, to get his defense better, working out at wild card. I don't know how the style of fight we're going to see in here. I think both of their jiu-jitsu's kind of like stomp each other out. But if you're gonna give somebody who has a higher jiu-jitsu level, would probably be Beneil Dariush, who's a little bit gritty and able to basically pull off a submission out of nowhere, would probably be Tony. So I don't know if they're going to end up hitting the ground. In the striking game, I feel like Tony has a little bit of an advantage there, but we all know Tony likes to get hit. So I'm not sure how this fight's going to turn up. And there's a lot of people that's out there saying right now that they're picking Beneil Dariush. And the fucked up part about this is I really like Tony. Tony's always been a really cool guy. I've been able to meet him, been able to hang out with him. He's trained by one of my good friends, Casey Haselin, who's a phenomenal coach out in Las Vegas. Just, I don't know, guys. I really don't want to go against Tony, but I just don't know where his head's at right now. Don't know if he's going to be able to deal with it. And I kind of feel like Beneil's kind of coming into his own right now. So it could be, I'm pretty much going to ride with Tony, but I would not count out Beneil on this fight. He could pull off a win out of nowhere. And the sad part about that is if Tony gets knocked off by Beneil Dariush, it's kind of at the point where I start to wonder, like, where do we go with Tony? He's getting a little bit older. I would like to see Tony move up to 170. I think it could be a really good weight class for him, but we're just gonna have to see. And then, of course, with all that, guys, I gotta move into this lightweight title fight, which is gonna be Michael Chandler versus Charles Oliveira. Now, guys, this is a phenomenal fight. Now, for both of these men, this is a tall fucking order. We have on one side Michael Chandler, who is a fast, gritty, always ready to go kind of fighter, pushes a pace, always in your face, has really, really, really good wrestling, is stronger than shit, and has knockout power in either hand, and has more heart than most people could believe. You literally have to separate him from consciousness to stop him. Then you have Charles Oliveira, who is a phenomenal jiu-jitsu player, pulls off submissions out of nowhere, has the most submissions in the UFC right now. So how do I see this fight playing out? And don't count out Charles Oliveira's hands either. They have gotten way better. His striking's being able to really just break through and show that he has superb striking now. But how do I see this fight playing out? It's really hard to say. There's a lot of times that you could look back on a lot of Charles Oliveira's fights and know that comes to a point if somebody ends up on top of him and they keep pressuring him, they could pretty much break him. Now, have I seen that in a while from him? Not really. Do I see it happening? I mean, if Chandler can control him, get on top, and hold down the top pressure and be able to ground and pound him, I can see him getting out of there with a TKO win. Also, I can see Chandler getting out of there with a straight knockout. Now, with Charles Oliveira, does he create some scrambles? Is he able to get to Michael Chandler's back? Is he able to submit Michael Chandler? Possibly. Has Michael Chandler ever been submitted? That's another question in itself. I just don't know how we're going to do with this one. I pretty much am, as you guys probably hear it in me talking about it, pretty much is leading with Michael Chandler. I think he's going to get Charles Oliveira out of there early, but who knows, man. Stay tuned to the card going down this Saturday night. I can't wait for it. We're going to be crowning a new king, and then we're just going to be waiting to see what happens between Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier, who will be up for the next title shot. And with that, guys, let's get to some news. Now, guys, there's been a lot of shit that's going on, and the biggest thing I want to talk about is Diego Sanchez, the Nightmare, the One, like millions of different names, just a legend in itself. I am completely shocked with how things have gone between the UFC and Diego Sanchez. It sucks for him. I hate that he got cut from the UFC. I hate that the turmoil that he's going through between all the reporters and media for MMA right now. It just sucks. But I have to say, the one thing I feel that's all the cause of this is basically Joshua Fabian. I cannot stand that guy. You guys have to probably have seen the videos of him training with Diego and just doing outrageous shit and basically putting himself in the limelight to be the person that's the center of attention around Diego's career. It sucks. I think Diego has some really bad things going on in his life, and he needs to get a separation from Joshua and maybe get looked at. We all know Diego always put his heart on his sleeve and always went out there and always put on wars. I'm really scared to see where he's gonna be in his later years. I'm talking his 60s and 70s. I'm pretty sure CTE is probably gonna be resting in there. I just hope Diego gets some kind of help. But if anything can happen, I hope somebody gets to Diego and is able to separate him from Joshua Fabian, because I just think he's just garbage and basically just a fucking leech and ruin Diego's fucking career. But that's just me saying, that's just my opinion. That's some shit that I want to talk about that. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is, of course, the Paul brothers. What can I say? Like I said before, not really Logan, but Jake Paul. I think he's playing with fire. He doesn't understand the type of situations that he's getting himself into. He doesn't even understand the type of situations he's getting his brother into. I feel like his brother is just being overbearing or trying to fucking take care of him, especially with that whole thing that happened and that fiasco that happened at the press conference for the Logan Paul versus his Floyd Mayweather fight. I think Jake needs to watch his mouth and watch his ass, and he's going to start to find out that he's playing around with real fighters. And if he keeps bumping his fucking guns and running his lips, somebody's going to catch him on the street and somebody's going to fuck his ass up. And I'm talking straight up, a lot of MMA fighters are really fucking heated with him. As you guys can hear in my fucking voice, I don't even like him. I get it. He's doing his marketing. He's selling himself. He's getting himself out there. He gets the views. He gets the ratings and all that. That's cool. But when you start crossing the line and really start disrespecting people, and especially hood ass fools that hang around hood ass niggas, it's not gonna be good for you, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, you need to watch your mouth. Some people who catch you on the street just gonna fuck your ass up and not give a fuck about anything. And that's just being real. Sorry about the cussing, guys. It's becoming really annoying that he's basically chasing after anybody he can. And I get it. That's how he's trying to make his sell. But we're just gonna have to see with that and see how it goes. Now, with that, guys, that's pretty much all I got for you guys this week. Sorry it's short. Sorry that I didn't have a video out for you guys last week. Gonna get back on the ball, getting back into my schedules like I'm trying to. Got a lot on my plate, have a lot of things to be going on right now. But with that, I will check you guys later. And like always, hook your brother up. Help me out. Subscribe to the show. Get it out there. Put the Filthy Report out there. Let everybody know about the Filthy Report and let them know about Fight Talk. I would love to get more content out there, guys, and get it onto a regular schedule basis. And with that, if nobody cares about you guys, always remember, I'm always here for you. Just hit me up anywhere on social media, The Filthy Report. That is me, Jason Filthy Jones. And like always, guys, till next time, peace.